Enchantress.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, magic does not work in this world. But will it work in this one? Well, it's time for Marvel's November release with their new film, Doctor Strange. This is the 14th film in the MCU. Yeah, 14 in 8 years. Wrap your mind around that. In this film, we have Stephen Strange, a stuck-up surgeon who treats everybody around him like garbage. After a fatal car accident, he becomes unable to perform surgeries due to the nerve damage and looks for alternative medicine. He goes to meet with the Ancient One, the only person he hears could cure his nerve damage. In doing so, we bring in a new element to the Marvel Cinematic Universe: magic. Originally, one of my biggest reservations of this movie was going to be how magic worked with the cinematic universe. Even Thor explains its use of magic by calling it science.
Your ancestors called it magic, and you call it science. Well, I come from a place where they're one and the same thing.
That simple explanation reframes everything mystical we see in the Thor movies as something that can be researched and achieved by looking at something like the Infinity Stones. But here they don't bother to explain it. Magic has just always existed in the MCU apparently. And that's not a bad thing. Aesthetically, it really fits, and not having an explanation in a movie like this is sometimes welcomed. Once you can get past that, then the movie can start drawing you in. The visuals are glorious and vibrant, with the trip-out montage being the best scene of the movie. Everything looks very similar to the subatomic world from Ant-Man. It's little touches like that that make magic easier to integrate with this universe, unlike just throwing it in there like in Suicide Squad. But when you get over the visuals and where the film takes the universe, there is one thing that I noticed that I just can't get out of my head. We're just rewatching Iron Man 1. We have an asshole who's known as the best person in his field, and after a tragic accident, his life is changed forever, and it slowly turns him into a new life of a superhero. We have a smart, no-nonsense girl who acts as a love interest for our protagonist that rightfully leaves when he's an asshole. The way the characters act and the story develops, I can't help but see the similarities on how Tony Stark was developed. But hey, Iron Man was a great movie, so if they're gonna reuse a story in the MCU, at least they chose their best one. But the story does have one thing Iron Man didn't. It has an annoying Deus Ex Machina twist for the ending. No spoilers, but the instant you see it in the movie, you can't help but think, oh, that's how this movie ends. It's the same thing Ant-Man did, and I hope it's not a pattern that the MCU continues in the future. And again, I just have to give praise to the CGI work of this film. It is easily the best and most impressive use of CGI in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. I know I complained about foregoing actual sets for CGI sets in the past, but this movie truly makes it an experience that is just a visual masterpiece. It's the difference between making a CGI room and something that just cannot be done in the real world. This movie looks like a surrealist painting in a 3D space. The fight scenes are on par with the rest of the other Marvel films. This movie easily has the best visual style, and I'm excited to see what this does with the films going forward, especially with another Avengers film right around the corner. Anywho, while there's some more boring elements to the movie, its style and characters more than make up for it. This gets an 8 out of 10.